find. Glad to see that I could help make your life a bit easier. But have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
It is Wednesday night. Over the hump day is definitely over the hump. This is Butch On Sports. I am simply Butch, as is always. I thank you for tuning in, boys and girls. Yes, I do. I really do. With the quickness, I do. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to get to some sports news that you can't get enough of, and maybe some things that, somewhat need to be spoken up indeed, but I'll do my best. I really will. Here we go. I am unfortunate to say that Darryl Rogers, the former Michigan State coach of the Detroit Lions and Michigan State, who made a name for himself with a pass-happy offense, he passed away early Wednesday morning at the age of 83. The cause of death has not immediately been given to us as of yet here. We also talked to the Detroit Lions on that, and they haven't received anything either. But when the family is expected to release a statement on Thursday, which is tomorrow, and we will be on tomorrow. So hopefully when we do get to receive that statement, we'll be able to pass it along to you. Rogers coached at Michigan State 1976 to 1979. After he left Arizona, after that he left for Arizona State in 1980. Then he coached the Lions from 1985 to 1988. Only stint in the NFL, of course. He started off at Fresno State. He was a player at Fresno State, and through various coaching jobs and assistant coaching jobs, his first stint was at Fresno State as a head coach, and that was in 1969 to 72. 73 to 75, he went to San Jose State and finished with a 24-18-2 record. But then he went up to Michigan, the University of Michigan, or University of Michigan State, I should say. And after replacing Denny Stokes, he, who had the program on probation, he thrived and did some things that not really done, but maybe a couple schools, maybe on the left coast, and one of the schools I'm talking about is Portland State was one of those pass-happy schools. Fresno State was another one. He brought that style, and also San Jose State was another one, too, where he coached at. He brought that style and grace to Michigan State. One of his big pass-happy catchers was, of course, Kirk Gibson, who was admired greatly of Rogers giving him that opportunity, because through Rogers, Kirk Gibson was able to enjoy not only a great career in football, where he was known more notably, but get his foot in the door in playing baseball and getting drafted by the Detroit Tigers. And Rogers allowed him to thrive in those areas there. Rogers was the Big Ten Coach of the Year in 77. He was the Spartans, shared a title with the University of Michigan in 78. Both of those teams first place. But again, his calling was basically he was great at making sure he tossed that football around. Yes, Rogers had some things that basically in the cabin, but we won't worry about those in the bridge. The man is gone, and he made Michigan State a better school than what they were when they got there. Darryl Rogers is dead at the age of 83 years old. Let's go further. If you have not found out as of yet, the Detroit Lions and station WJR, yes, I'm going to mention the station, WJR. And this is hard for me because Jim Branstetter has been a welcoming wagon and has done a lot of things for me personally. He was one of the first when I came to bat to work in this side of the country to welcome me with open arms, and always spoke, always was able to help. However, he's been the broadcast for Detroit Lions for now 31 years. He will not get a chance of doing his 32nd year because the Lions and WJR Radio, let's say WJR Radio, had gave him a phone call. He called him back up. Jim Branstetter admittedly said he thought he was going to have a conversation about a contract extension. However, his contract was over, and WJR told him that, in Jim Branstetter's words, we're going to go another direction, which means he was fired. After 3 decades, over the phone, Branstetter brought the Detroit Lions fans together every Sunday when they were on. He had a passion and very big knowledge of the game, and he did not swallow his tongue when it come down to the Lions doing good, bad, or ugly. He was an honest broadcaster, good, the kind you want, the kind that didn't sugarcoat anything around and got to the point without deflating the Lions like many have done in the media system here. Yes, he had his say, but again, he knew how to pick you up too and put you in a positive frame of mind. Countless contributions, again. I was one of those countless contributions he's made, always willing to help or being somewhere where you need him to be. I'm just going to say it like it is, and if people don't like it, so what? It's a hell of a way to fire someone over the phone after they spend 30-something years for you. Most people after 30 years retire until you go to blazes. But he did 31 years and wouldn't do 33, 34, 35, or whatever was necessary. It's a proper way to bid a goodbye to someone, and that could have been done by WJR Radio after the season was done. Not 6 months after the fact, where this man is getting geared up to get ready for football for the Detroit Lions and was told over the phone, we're going in a different direction. Bad news for WJR. Bad news indeed. Y'all be shaming yourself. He deserved much better than the approach that was given by WJR Radio, which I thought at one point in time was a class radio station. He's been replaced by an ample and a capable person in Lomas Brown. Will be the Lions sidekick along with Dan Miller. We'll find out later on, maybe, and on me being in the media, we'll find out later on how it comes to the conclusion where Branstetter was let go. Because I know rumors will float, but somebody will run their mouth, and if it's true, I'll bring it to you. If it's false, I won't. But I just think it's a heck of a bad way to let someone go who's served 31 years for the Detroit Lions, and that man deserved better than that. He could, if you go and let him go in January, not having expectations. Still, you can hear Jim Brandstetter on Saturday afternoons or whenever the University of Michigan plays football, because he still is the play-by-play man for that ensemble, along with Dan Dierdorf, two of the best announcers. I underestimate Brandstetter and Dierdorf, two of the best announcers around, and too bad the Lions can pick up on Dierdorf as an announcer here. I don't mean no harm, Dan Miller, but Dierdorf is a doggone good announcer here for football. I've heard him before on the NFL, and he brings some excitement to it. I know Dan Miller's goody two-shoe, but I don't know. 18 losses in the last 22 games for the Detroit Tigers. They spill another one. When they could have walked the guy, which is Cronin, for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, which I'll be calling them, and, just put him on base. Zimmerman said, hey, I can do it, coach. I can do it just fine. And the coach let him do it. And he threw a nice little breaking ball up there that floated, and all the pitches he was hitting today, which was his third hit of the day, he puts it into the seats. Tampa Bay beat the Detroit Tigers by the final score of 4-2. Tigers leading up to that in that seventh inning until Cronin put it into the seats. First base was open. He is one of the hottest pitchers and very much so one of the more dependable hitters for that team. Many of us are second-guessing and saying, why did he not walk him? But what's done is done. Jordan Zimmerman, the loser. Yarbrough, the winner in this particular contest. Tigers again lost their 18th in their last 22nd game. I bet they're ready for All-Star time. Pretty significant indeed here. They'll be going to Houston next on Friday to get a day off. With Jones, I don't know. But I would use that as a practice day. And, I don't mean any harm there, but again, I saw some good things today. Mikey Montus getting on base with a bunt. And then McCann comes right back after him there after swinging a miss at a gopher ball, putting one in the seats. But you know what? The hitters need some guidance there, because when you strike out 14 times in the game, and we're talking about Detroit Tigers on Wednesday, 14 of the 20-something times you go to bat, you strike out. Come on. Where's the guidance in this here? Hitting coaches in general here. And that's just a sloppy job. That's just I don't care. Let me go on up there, go through the motions. And if I was a manager and I was a coach, I would be pretty upset. At the pace of the Detroit Tigers in this place there. You got to hit the ball. Play some small ball. Show some guidance, management staff. But don't let them go up there making themselves every single time looking like a fool. A bozo. Detroit Red Wings might have some issues too. It's a wonder if Henry Zetterberg might be able to play for this season. It's been reported that Henry Zetterberg has some back issues that right now the team is acknowledging very well, as Ken Holland did acknowledge after the free agency began on July the 1st, according to reports. Ted Koofer of the Detroit News also chiming in on this particular day. The last I talked to him, he planned on playing. Holland said, obviously his back is going to determine whether he can or cannot. It is a clear green light if to whether Zetterberg is returning. I'm expecting him to play. I do have a clear green light. Or do I have a clear green light on this? No. So we'll be wondering, is Zetterberg going to take the year off? And the back is nothing to play with there. But again, he was reported 2 weeks ago in his country playing golf with Carlson and all some others of his fellow countrymen too, playing golf up there. I don't know. We'll find out very soon because we got about 30 days or less before camp and all that other good stuff cranks up. It won't be long now. World Cup. Now we know who's going to be in. France punched their ticket yesterday with a win over a talented Belgian team that many picked to win over France, but they were wrong. France came on in there and got it done. And today was a big game because everybody expected England to be playing France if there was preference of the teams coming in. France and England, that would have been a barn burner maybe. But Croatia, a country with just 4 million people, will have their first World Cup final with a dramatic 2-1 extra time victory over England on Wednesday. And I sat and watched the game and go into overtime. England looked like they ran out of gas about the 75-minute mark of the game. Maybe a little bit sooner than that. But England was very methodic, where it seemed like Croatia was getting stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the game. And, England had dodged some bullets before, and I think Croatia dodged some too with England. But you could tell England, when they come with the spunk and the fight, Croatia doing the final 20 minutes, and then we talk about overtime as well, put their pedal to the metal. And the fresher team was Croatia. Yes, they got an overtime goal, and they won. So, Sunday morning, about 11 o'clock, will be the time that everybody will be kicking the Tootsie Ball in Russia, as France is going to go against Croatia. Now, if you care, Saturday the third place game is going to take place where England and Belgium will be playing. And hopefully that's a talented match. That's for honor marbles of third place, which a third place team gets a nice little shiny little piece of jewelry. The fourth place team, I don't know, they'll get their ticket goodbye. So maybe it's something to play for, to be understand with all the others, but again, hopefully it's a talented game indeed. It'll be a game that I'll watch and take some interest in and get some laughs. After 3 days of voting, we're talking about baseball-wise, that is, fans have decided that Milwaukee Brewers first baseman Jesus Aguilera and Seattle Mariners shortstop John Segura is worthy of making the trip to Washington, D.C. They were the apples of the eye of many people who voted. And they get to be the last members of each, the National and the American League teams, for the All-Star team. Isn't that wonderful? Personally, I care less about it. I just think they should just open up the gates and expand the rosters. They really do. Because the 4 people they pick on to make them look like a snow cone, it's just totally stupid. And that's just my feelings on that voting tip anyway, because that's just, I don't know. Pistons tonight, we're playing the T-Wolves. We're talking about Summer League ball. And the Pistons, after leading majority of the game, and the Timberwolves coming back and taking the lead of 52-51 with a little bit about 6 minutes ago, the Pistons show that they can rank it a little bit better as well. They won 64-59. Final score. They're 2-2. And now they have these little playoffs or whatever it may be for the Summer League who will be number 1 in the MGM Summer League. We'll find out pretty soon there. I forgot who the Pistons will be because they're still in the mix there after even a 2-2. And Henry Ellison, I watched that. I watched him closely today because again, Casey looked at him as the guy that needs to really step up his game, and he's a diamond in the rough. And I think this guy is putting so much pressure on himself that he's looking uglier every single moment he plays. I see some today some plays that basically he needs counsel on, and big time. And hopefully the Pistons, Drew is his assistant coach who's running it the show. Have a chat with him. He got to calm down. Plumbers have made their intentions known that the NBA draft signings and soon-to-be stars like DeAndre Alton and Marvin Bagley III and J.R. Smith, they showed their brand is ready to go. Plumbers has signed them on up. However, shoes like Nike and Adidas and Under Armour, they're leading the pack, but Plumbers, to me, is one of the better shoes you can wear next to Adidas, of course. I have nothing against Nike, have nothing against Armour, but I personally wore all those shoes, and that's just my pick. For the money, Puma is the better shoe, to me. But, fans, you take your pick. However, first-round draft pick Alton, he could not, he was wearing a pair of Nikes, although he signed up with Puma. So you figure, Puma will have his shoes all ready to go. So when he hits the basketball court, that big old horse or tiger or whatever it may be, Puma tiger, be ready to go, showing on the shoes. He was wearing a pair of Nikes. Apparently, Pluma was asked about the consistency when you signed this guy. Why is he wearing Nikes? Pluma said it's a matter of some problems here because he's a size 18 foot, and that means you got to cast the foot, send the cast back, and then start making the shoes. And wherever they're making the shoes at, is apparently not in the United States, they haven't gotten those shoes ready for him yet. Shame on you. You sign the guy, you don't have a pair of shoes for him to wear. Why? Why? I don't know what to say here. But I will say this. Butch On Sports is a press. By the way, before we get on off the air, 3-on-3 basketball today. Ice Cube was in town yesterday and today, Wednesday, and I finally got a chance to have a chit-chat with the guy today, Wednesday, and if we got time to share with you the tape with the interview with Ice Cube, I'll do that tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely have that available for you maybe, I don't know. Definitely tomorrow we'll be on the air. I don't know about the weekend. But I will have that in the library and we'll share that conversation. There's some interesting things about basketball in general with Ice Cube there. But 3-on-3 basketball will be at Little Caesars Arena on Friday. The first game starts at 6 o'clock. If you're home on the air, you can't get down there. FF1 will have it on at 7. Fox go on the air at 8 o'clock. So evening 4 games for the price of one. I don't know, you can't beat that there, but he's made himself represented very well, Ice Cube, that is, and getting around talking about it. And also seeing the kids and whatnot. They did not expect him to be at Youth Day at Metropolitan Detroit at Belle Isle. Well, all the kids were out there on the island today playing and getting school supplies and having fun and laughter. And they didn't expect Ice Cube and Drake, by the way, coming out on the doggone island. What a deal, huh? What a deal. Hey, Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling Productions. Facebook is the place you can get my goodies. Yes, Facebook is the place you can get my goodies there. SIMPLYBUTCHTOO.podomatic.com. The game show, okay, with Scott Nason. Oh, go to his Facebook page where he can do his thing. Bye-bye, everybody.